English, Imzaia. Today I would like to speak a little bit more also about choices. When you decide to choose for the ascension path, of course, there are a lot of synchronicities happening in your life, and well, it happens in a very natural way all the time. It's not something that even surprises you at the end. The thing is, working on the quote book that we are preparing, came across something that Pahdasan San speak about is giving your choices a different purpose. You should, and when you do, you certainly feeling extremely more happy about the results. And it is about choosing for the whole. Everything in your daily life should be based on choosing for the whole. Being any activity, the thing you eat, the thing you do, the thing you think, then you have a different purpose, and you start seeing the reality around you, the external reality in the world, working as based on your choice for the whole. So I think it is quite interesting when the student realizes that it actually can happen. It's not that tricky. It's just a difficult thing to maybe realize first before you have the result in front of you, and then your choices change. Of course, you decided to work on it all the time, or as much as you can focus on this. So the choices change, that you also realize, as for your thought, that you were not choosing intentionally most of the time what you wanted to. So reality follows your choices. You create your reality by choice. So not to be surprised about the results, but the result of working for the whole gives you an opportunity to step into something you can do for the whole, as working with an enormous amount of power that doesn't come from your ego, your mind, or your personality. It comes from being the whole yourself and choosing to change something, do something, help with something. It is a delicate thing in a way, because you also can choose improperly. So you have to be careful with choosing something that will actually be really beneficial for the whole. And if your mind, your ego, your personality comes in the way, of course, you can see that you can put the whole in danger of having a reality created by you that it's not beneficial at all. I can help to tell you what the Pahdasan said at the end of the quote, which is a little bit too long to read out loud. You will find it in the book when it's finished. And that is a step-by-step, second-by-second practice, of course, that is required to start thinking that way, but it is possible. And in doing so, changes all the universe, basically. So let's get ready. I love you all. Lakaya Sanak.
Welcome to Ascension Road.
Hongalea I Imzaia. A beautiful, beloved day to you. It's the Pahdasan San here with you to share my thoughts about a few things. First of all, I would like to share with you what these journals are doing for me. I've always believed in the power of a camera to watch yourself. You don't know how you express to another unless you can see yourself on video doing it. But in the case of what we are doing, we're always working with the observer and the observed. And with this journaling, it's like I am creating a very strong external observer. And as I've heard other students say here as well, it also gives me a chance to commit more, not per se to you, but to myself. And next to that, there's always been this wish within all of us to share the potential that all of us have jumped on, and that is, studying, being a direct student of Ascended Life, of Ascended Master Teachers. That is so vital to really get to the nitty-gritty things of it. The personality construct, of course, is in so much. Sometimes I'm really thinking I'm doing things from the heart, and then there are still layers connected to it that basically distort that again. And I tell you, I would not be able to see that for myself. Here, living with all the students already, we've been living and working together for a long time on all of this already, years. So we've also come to know each other's personality constructs very well, each other's patternings, and it's often much easier, or it's of course much easier to see it in someone else than it is to recognize it within yourself. And that's why it's also so important to for us to just be open towards each other and listen to each other, because we recognize the patterns from each other, and therefore can easily help each other to go back to the right place, to the heart space, undistorted, or at least as much undistorted as we can do it right now. And then of course the even deeper layers that have not really come up yet are pointed out by Ascended Life, and we are also getting to the space that we really realize that is only to empower us. And again, I guess I will keep saying this a lot. Of course we knew that, but there is a difference between knowing it here and really knowing it here. And when these things happen, that's just, then change really is at hand, because then what was the external observer is closer within, and then it's going to be much easier to stay with that. I would also like to share a quote with you. In my last video, I believe, I spoke about being able to stay closer within myself. This quote that I'm going to read to you right now is in that a beautiful one for me. Witness the dance of the cosmos, the dance of the stars. Observe how the cosmos is but a simple candle, and how you are the flame, burning bright, the dance of the cosmos like the dance of the flame, renewed in each moment in the absence of predetermination, never knowing its next move, but always certain it is the right one. And this fire that reminds me of the passion within for this work, for this truth, for myself. But I so truly believe that this is the way to turn all of this reality in a magical place of love, and that it is truly the way, applying all of these teachings, to step out of suffering and everything that goes with this personality construct. That's another thing. It brings me back to these videos because it's always been a wish for us to share what we do here, the potential that we have, and with these videos we can give you a little peek of what we are doing here. And I know this is going to expand with interaction with Ascended Life, so you're going to see that too. And then coming back to this quote as well, this staying in the middle and just moving, I believe is also truly important in reality creation. Like, for instance, now this Ascension Road, it's something that we've been speaking about for a long time, even before we had the name. Like, from the beginning, how beautiful it would be to give others that are not here an insight of what we do here, and the power of that and what it can be for you. Because I believe that, I believe that there are many that have that same feeling within themselves, that the life you are living, that can't be it. No, of course not, because we've come to this place with the memory in place of what we come here to do. And so if you feel any of that, if you feel this nudge that there is something more, yes, there is. And I'm just extremely grateful that we have this chance to show you and to let you know that that is there for you too. That just, that just really warms my heart. So I also wanted to let you know, if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, I'd be happy to speak about things on your request as well. It's a beautiful unfolding, and this quote, as I said, in combination with reality creation, the concepts are there, the wish is there, it's in our heart, and then so often all of a sudden it's like, yay, it seems to manifest itself, because the wish was there, the patience was there, and all of a sudden it just clicks in. So, that's just one of the beautiful magical things that we experience here. And it's just so beautiful to share it with you. I truly hope it inspires you, and I truly look forward to receiving questions. What would you like to know? What would you like to know about what we do? Or very open to hear from you. For now, I wish you a beautiful day, and I look back to being with you again. Sanake.
Welcome to Ascension Road.
Senake o amivish Imzaia. Today I would like to speak to you about the title the Pahdasan San gave to this series of recording that were supposed to be put in the private student forum first, and then things changed, which is wonderful. Ascension is never boring in this fashion. It always changes, and we see that it evolves to something that somehow you never would have guessed that it would be this way. That's, I think, the power of connecting your heart to whatever you are doing. You can be really surprised how lovely a reality can be around you, and if it is not continuing working on trying to change something you don't like and having a little bit of a deeper look at it, or honest look at it, it can change. And then this is what I call homework. We are students, we have teachers, and then we are learning. There will be no point of being here as a student if we would know everything. Makes quite a lot of sense, but in the practice sometimes we think we know and we don't. So the concept of Ascension Road gave me an idea about how to speak about what we are doing here, because of the word, the road, of course, it's a very good metaphor for seeing and realizing that it's a journey. It's something that you decided to get over the passivity. So you decide to make your suitcase and go for the adventure. It really is an adventure. You will never guess what you would find inside of you when you start a journey. And there's not much point of trying to do that the other way around. It's not the way it works. You're going to change your reality. You're going to change your perspective, and you're going to change everything from inside out. Well, we can record some videos about this too, how to do it, or how to even start to understand that this is true. So the road for me is the adventure. It's something that I enjoy a lot. The discovery of like new landscape, you can say. The heart has infinite amount of landscape to show you, and when you are there, you will never doubt that the truth about love. Like if you're really feeling from your heart the true expression, then everything becomes so different, but you will never doubt that this is true, that this is exactly what you should be feeling all the time. I hope I will not repeat myself that often in this video, but there are certain concepts that you have to go over them over and over again before you see it for what it really is. And maybe we can speak about love, how you start to discover how much condition you put on even the concept of what you have so far understood as what love is. It's true for all the other ingredients, but especially love have been extremely distorted for most people, fortunately, because this is the way to go. This is the way out. This is the center. Your Akene, the start of the breakthrough all of this, and to discover who you truly are. That's certainly a good way to see it, because you don't know who you are. This is quite a discovery, and well, we make the suitcase, we get ready, and then everything inside changes enormously, tremendously. It can be very challenging to discover a part of yourself that you don't like and you still display. It's quite challenging, but you realize, oh, this is just cannot be love. I don't want that to stay with me, or the one that I still consider it's me, which is another topic. And that the truth of the road, that's the journey. The journey goes deep inside, and then clean up the extra layer that you never would have discovered yourself before taking this choice. You need help. It's just like a disease. You need a good doctor for it on the road. So for now I will leave it like this, because again there are many topics that we could speak about, of what it means for all of us to be on the road. But I repeat that for me it's the adventure. It's the way that you discover every day something new and something to work on. And again, if you focus on working with anything based on your service for the whole, then I think it's a really good trip. It's a really journey that fulfills your heart every day with something so beautiful. And if it's not the case, if you are triggered with something, in a way, now automatically we can relate to an extra layer that needs to be seen for what it is, and then on the other side of this layer you will feel the love again that you're not able to see, of course, because it's filtered. So I'll let you for today, enjoying the rest of the journey. It's indeed an individual journey, but it's also a collective one. We are all going to this to find our heart, and there is just one. There's just one Akene. There's just one of everything, which makes it quite a simple journey, but an infinite amount of experiences can be added to it. So for you to decide the best one to take, I will not decide to go back in a reality of a 3D life ever. This is something that is dear to my heart. I know intimately that it's exactly what I came here to do. Thank you for listening. Love you. Sanake.
Welcome to Ascension Road.
Sanake. What came up yesterday was the word ambassador. We were speaking among us students and about the fact that our little video clips are now reaching a bigger audience than we initially had bargained for. So we were talking about being the ambassadors, and what I remembered is early on in the study of vibration, the cosmic manifest part of the study of vibration, the 12 were talking about that we were ambassadors of free energy. Honestly, I had no idea what that meant. And during my very first seminar, that was the Meaning of Life seminar, back in 2007, we were asked by the Yeshua-san to, at the end of the seminar, write a statement about why we wanted to be ambassadors of free energy and what that meant to us. And I honestly cannot remember any of the words I've written. What I can remember, though, is the passion with which I wrote them, even though I had not really a clue what it meant, but on a feeling level, I knew that this is what I wanted to be, and this is why I was here, to somehow express to the world what it means to be a student, what it means to learn to live again from the heart rather than from the head, and how important it is that we do that and that we emit that and live that with every single breath we take. So then yesterday, Pahdasan San created the day before already the first Ascension Road video that was a compilation of our insights and talks here as students that we had recorded earlier. And with that, all of a sudden, being the ambassador became real. Because it was not only, these videos not only were shared among private students and everyone that has signed up as a private student, that it is visible for them, but basically for anyone who would happen to click on YouTube at that moment and find those streams, which means it's out in the world, which means we are really becoming the ambassadors. We are the ambassadors of, well, they called it free energy. I guess it's really the ambassadors of showing the world what living from the active ingredients, the sun ingredients, da, ba, va, ra, and gratitude, grace, and well-being, and of course Ka, life force, really means. And so this is why we're here, and this is, I think, why we are the ambassadors, and that really became clear to us yesterday that we're doing this. We are here for all of you, showing you that it's absolutely possible to, not only possible, it's what we're doing, what we have been doing for years, living as a student, living as students together with Ascended Life, learning, or rediscovering what it means to live from the heart. And that is basically what I wanted to share with you today. So, Takaya, Sanaki.
Welcome to Ascension Road.
Sanaki. I want to explain a little how I did come to the path. Actually, I felt not accepted in this reality, very pushed, very mind controlled. I couldn't do anything what this being wanted to do. I
didn't feel free at all. Everything was conditioned. Everything was in a way expected the way others wanted. You have to get a career and all this stuff. You have to do this. You have to buy a house. You have to everything exact the opposite that is being wanted. So when I first met a student and we came to talk, it was a whole different reality opening up for me, because Imzaia Road is about love, but really true love, not being expected anything, just the flow of love out of your heart, out of your beaming, out of your beam, out of your heart. So yeah, it's a totally different experience that I have now. Also with governments, it's been said in all the teaching, we give our power away to others, and it shouldn't be. We should all be free, free of mind control. Just accept who we are, what we are here for, what we are doing, and that's all to help each other and to make the whole planet realize that there's a whole different way of living, a whole different way of being. It doesn't have to be coming from here, from the mind. It's all dualistic. 3D, the matrix. It's like a white and a black, but it isn't even true. It's all one perception. It's one being. We are all the same. We have all the same vision. If we go to the heart space, we can all help each other. We are here for each other. And I'm so looking forward for everyone to be able to experience all the love and the joy and the freedom, and to express that and to bring that to others. I wish everyone a very lovely day. Contemplate these things. If you have questions, Ascension Road and Pahdasan Kalynda San is always available for all of you. And I'll see you very soon. Takaya. And Takaya means much gratitude. So Takaya.
Welcome to Ascension Road.
Sanake,
Sanake.
you're sitting here with a cup of coffee, as you notice, and we have a little talk about Ascension.
Yes.
Pahdasan. We were speaking about explaining actually a feeling you have of what it means of ascendant, to be with ascendant life.
Where we were speaking about it was indeed how often you have a feeling and you know what it is, but to explain this, that we don't want to, in our recordings, we don't want to teach or say how things are going, but just to be honest about how we experience things. And if we go to another level of being, then we are speaking to other parts of ourselves, actually. And the understanding of that, I think, isn't it?
It's a good topic.
Yeah.
Because I think it starts with the knowing of oneness.
Yes.
That everything is you and you are everything, every particle. So to express that you also...
Yeah. But how exactly what you're saying now, what kind of shift in perspective that is.
Yes.
Because the whole personality or the way you were used to live, you didn't look in that way.
Yeah, that's a thing we've often said, that what we wanted for all of us is to come from the we perspective rather than the I perspective, not the, that we put the whole in front, like, not to the benefit of the whole of all of us here. For example, when we do something, rather than one certain personality, I need that, I want that. But that's something we try to avoid as much as possible, to really look at the needs of the whole, because we are a whole. But as long as we say, I want, I need, we're coming from a personality perspective, I think, and then it's very easy to click into those old patterns and old habits of the personality program. Whereas if you really start thinking from the oneness, because we know that in theory that we're all one, but in order to really experience that, we have to express that.
Yes, expression before experience.
When you were saying this, I had to, I think it came up, that was in the very early teachings, that the Yeshua Santa explained about every time you use the word I, that the I of the I am, the one, so and I remember for a long time I didn't dare to say, because I got the difference, what it meant. So if you speak the I, what you want is a personality, or you speak from as that one point of consciousness, expressing the whole, you use that I. So it was for a long time I hardly dared to use the word I anymore. I thought, what I'm doing. But it's a circle of awareness, actually. Yeah.
It's the same that reminded me of the fact that at some point he said, every time you say, I can't,
yes, similar.
To write that down, because there's nothing you can't do. But if you say, I can't something, I don't know, you're basically reaffirming the whole personality program. And so that was actually an exercise he gave everyone, to write down every single time you catch yourself saying, I don't know, I can't. And how many times that actually happens during the day, and what you're doing with that. Namely, constantly pulling a past experience or a past belief system, basically, into your now moment, therefore prolonging that belief system. So all of these things, it's indeed how we express ourselves, how we word things, is often so habitual. Even things like, oh, it's beautiful, it's lovely weather today. That is bypassing the fact that we are the creators of our reality. It's like, oh, you're surprised. Oh, it's lovely weather. I mean, these little things. It's in all of that. It's it's just one way of really being aware of how we say things. So I understand what you mean with, to go back to what you said in the beginning, that you didn't dare to say I, because of what it implies on a personality level. That's really interesting.
And it's so important to let the ego go, actually. everything of it. And it's not that you're gonna lose anything, you're even gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because often the mind said, oh, if I need to let go of this, it's all attachments.
Attachments, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the whole.
That doesn't mean anything.
No.
Mm.
But that's the whole thing with the ego mind personality construct.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, that's the very, well, the very first, what was the first teaching in the Cosmic Manifest, what used to be the Cosmic Manifest in the study of vibration, but it used to be called Born in Abundance, you remember? And the thing that was big there was letting go. But to truly understand what letting go means, that it's not that it's really everything. It's not only on a letting go. It's letting go of attachments. So, as Ascended Life has also said, if we wouldn't have attachments to people, things, and events. If we would have a neutral relationship with all of that, there would be no need to let that go, because then it's not attached to us. But because we have all these attachments to people and things, if we don't detach from that, I mean, if we don't let go of that, we won't get into the neutral state. And so it's not only those physical things, but what is much more is the belief system inside the habits of personality, all these things that a personality is so invested in. This is me, this is how I am, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and all of these things. I mean, it's a gazillion things. So Akoda Sanka said, we just have to let go of the belief system.
Yeah,
and
I
it
do
is
it all
true,
at once. Yeah, it's true.
And I'm sure there is people out there who can do that in one go. To be honest, yeah, I'm still letting go. So yeah. These are the things we ponder under a cup of coffee.
When you were sharing, one of the things that came up also about letting go, how much it has to do with understanding the illusions.
Yeah.
Once you understand the illusions, then it doesn't feel like letting go of things.
Yeah.
Once I understood that death actually is, for me, letting go of the personality, the mind part. So that actually means the death of it.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's nothing scary about. And I never felt death as scary or whatever for me.
Yeah.
One would never leave. I never had to, a lot of people didn't understand why I didn't have to cry or so. People, you would be touched. Sometimes you would miss the physical presence of someone, but
It always felt like not the end. But
so they were always there. Yeah.
I was also just thinking, when you brought up delusions, we know about the illusions. So actually, as long as then I see how often we keep them alive by choice.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. whatever it might be, because if we know, I don't want to bring up an example, but it's often that, I mean, you have to say that if we still keep up all of these things, it is a choice, because we know better. So.
And another thing I thought about, we can speak about all of this, all the details about the personality, but one thing we have simply to practice the 3 steps that Pahdasan San, yes, let us start with. So if we just, and I noticed that for myself, that no, and that's where the pure will comes in. Just to focus, don't stay attached to all that drama, because, oh damn.
It's true.
Yeah, and that's where I find myself, okay, here it comes down, and it slows me down also, where because if you choose for that, just know that, what is. Just breathe that, be with that.
The simplicity of nothing comes before and nothing comes after. If you really, really have that in your being in every moment, then this is what you express, and it really helps, because how many times, as we said, how many times a day do we catch ourselves where this is, okay, yes, back to the basics, back to what is real, what is the true being, the true building block, also in perceiving the other, also in wanting to see the building blocks in everything. Rather than feeling offended by something someone says or whatever it is, it's also because underneath that all is the Creator self, and nothing can be created if it's not from the building blocks. So that's also is part of the pure will of. Wanting to see it differently. Even if someone else expresses something personality-based or whatever it might be, but then it's always up to me how I perceive things. It's always the self that is in the driver's seat on that level, that I can choose whether I want to see that as how I want to perceive that. Do I want to see the building blocks underneath? So that is for me also something that I'm still working on, trying to perceive things differently.
And this is where the intercreational relationship comes in. The Amazon, please join.
I will.
Here,
yes. Come here. Come and sit here.
Okay. Where are we?
Well,
We're sharing some really good stuff, I can imagine. Well, there was a lot of joy and levity. I heard laughter when I came in. And why shouldn't reality creation be jovial and fun and happy and all of those good things?
yeah.
Did you talk about San?
No, you never mentioned the word song.
Really?
You want to say something like that?
Yeah, because I wanted to share something, something that, just a little part, because I'm coming in here cold, but I really love one of the ascended teachings by Pahdasan San for direct students and online subscribers about being the focus on becoming the creator self. So like I read that or listen to it a lot, because for me it's like I know we have a lot of, over the years, many how-tos and do this and do that and all kinds of wonderful tips and things, but for me that sort of really sums it up. It talks about San, which everybody I'm sure here has already talked about, the active ingredients in some way of reality creation, or the building blocks of reality, which are love, joy, freedom, truth, life, gratitude, grace, and well-being. I've heard them in all of our Ascension journals. I've used them a lot. The thing that I really love about that is that San, it's really very clear that San is what creates reality. San is what we are. And I remember a few years back when the concept of San, or that word actually, because we've always had like love, joy, freedom, truth, etc., and all of that, but the word San was introduced, and we were writing responses to quotes and articles on the website, and we would sign off like insan, or we would talk about being insan. And I remember actually it was the Oyasanka in one time, I said, I wish people would stop saying that. And in that moment I sort of got that I think he's talking about the fact that we are San. He didn't say that, but I think that's what he meant. So I kind of tucked that away in the back of my awareness. And over time, and especially recently, it's really clear. And in this teaching, Pahdasan Kalynda San makes it really clear. So that's what we're here for, embracing the creator self, the one infinite creator. And we do that, then I think reality creation can pour out of us in a different way than if we think about it, from that perspective.
Exactly, it's about putting it into practice.
Yeah.
It's not about thinking it into
It's
practice.
about being it.
That's never really worked.
Thinking it into
That's
practice.
true. That's very true. Thinking it into reality, thinking it into practice in order to create reality from your practice. Yeah, that's kind of silly.
Opening the eyes of the heart.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's the difference, the shift.
I think that's a beautiful way to
end this
conversation for now. Opening the eyes of the heart.
Yes.
That's a good way.
Sanake.
Thank you for including me, Sanake. Love to everybody.
Welcome to Ascension Road.
Zeelandic here again with a bit of an update since the last recording on how things have been going. I actually have been listening a few times again to The Memory of the Now by Imzaia San, who explains there how you can actually work with the river of San, Akoda, and what that can mean for you. And I have to say that for myself the results are incredible. I'm finally starting to understand how important it is to take charge of your beingness and to bring everything to the right expression again, that you really do have a choice in everything. In what you put out is also what you're gonna take in. And now with the focus on the river of San, Akoda, I really have experienced huge changes. One of the things is that in that way my mind actually goes into some kind of a surrendering status, and I can really feel how the energy that was stuck in my head just goes back to the heart, and I was able to pulse out of my heart what I want to express. So with every breath I go Akoda, Akoda. And yeah, I can only say that that is something that you really want to experience yourself when you listen to the teaching. And Imzaia San explains very well that is actually the underlying of everything, that the river of San, Akoda, is what has been used and has been abused to give us a different perspective on reality. but with the focus on that different perspective actually is forced to surrender to its true beingness. And that is just, yeah, that's an incredible experience. Wonder how I can describe what I actually felt with that. I think the biggest thing is that I'm starting to realize how much time we actually spend up in our head with all kinds of stories or impressions or, yeah, really just stories. I can start to understand now that we really are no longer aware of what is actually happening around us because we are so far tucked away in this experience that is not even true. We are missing out on what is true because we're busy with things that actually don't really matter. And that is changing now. I feel that I'm way more capable to stay present in the now and to have a true experience instead of some kind of knockoff of it. One of the things that I could even see, I think, also with the two eyes of the body, but especially with the inner eye, I think, is how all of our reality bubbles are connected. And that indeed all of our experiences are very private somehow, but they don't have to be, because that underlying field is always one in unity. So when we are able to come out of these personality bubbles that we have created, then there is a whole different experience for us. I wonder how I can put it into words. What more? It felt like everything is connected to that heartbeat and the pulsing of that. Yeah, it's just something that I can recommend to everyone. Really try and put your focus there and just see what it does for you, because for me it's incredible, uplifting, relaxing. I was actually thinking, like, in the personality life, I've experienced a lot of anxiety attacks, and then the thing you would do is pop a pill or, you know, do stuff like that to actually bring you back to a calm space. And now just with that focus on Akoda and with the right breath, I think that's the most calming feeling that I have ever experienced. So if I can give any recommendation for anyone who ever has any kind of these experiences, this can be really helpful for you. At least it really is for me. It just puts things back into perspective, back into its original state. And then there is not all of that noise around anymore. So, yeah, anyway, I'm gonna keep practicing with that, and I'm curious to hear if there are more students busy on this topic, what their experiences are with this. And I'm happy to share more in a little bit. So, see you soon. Seneki.
Welcome to